now we're just killing 45 seconds before slow motion Facebook
Yes,
catches
just
up.
yeah, it's go time. We getting it. Let's get it. Yes, I love it.
You're
I'm so glad we're
hydrated.
doing this.
Oh my God. And it's so I there was something. Oh, well, wait, I'll share that once we're like everywhere live.
Okay, okay.
Okay, we're 30 seconds in, so a few more seconds usually.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm so glad we're doing this. I can't
Yeah,
wait for everybody.
okay. It
This
caught
is
up. Sorry.
yeah.
And hydrated with
Yes, got
Huntress.
to.
There we go. And now I tagged you.
Okay.
So okay, so it's visible on the Facebook now too. Okay,
Yes.
hello, everyone. This is Rich and Hydrated, your favorite legendary Amerislav. And with us, we have Kimberly today, the Huntress, the
Yes.
mistress of divorce. And I have so many questions.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, first, tell us about you. Who are you? What do you do? Tell us the good stuff.
Oh gosh. Every time someone asks me that, I'm like, that is a loaded question.
I
Okay.
know we
Like
have all the time.
I'm doing all of these things. Okay, so I hail from California, Southern California. Let's see, what do I do? So by trade to pay the bills, I'm in insurance, life insurance, health insurance, employee benefits, annuities, retirement, all that good stuff. I do all of that. And that's to pay the bills while I'm getting my business off the ground.
And what is
So,
your business?
yes, so my business is right now it's like I have different offers falling all under Magic Mama, but right now I'm concentrating on the one-on-one coaching, transformation coaching, dark feminine transformation coaching. And so basically what that is, I help women who have left long-term marriages and relationships that no longer serve them, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And they are looking to start over. They're almost, some of them are probably starting from scratch. Some are just trying to figure out, okay, I've done this, I've done all that, but I know that this is something that I no longer want to do.
Mhm,
And I need to move on into the next chapter of my life.
mhm.
And a lot of times it can be seen as, oh, you just want women to not be married anymore and to just come and just go through all this other stuff. That's not what it is. You have a lot of women who I was her. And I was like, I got married under false pretenses like a lot of women do. I came to the realization that that wasn't for me, not the traditional way that marriage is. I realized that's not for me. And so, and it was also this thing where I was like, okay, I need to move into the next chapter of my life. And once I did that, it's like all of these things started opening up. I started knowing me. I started finding me and getting to know me again. And I realized how much I fragmented myself being in the traditional confines and restrictions of traditional marriage, right?
Mhm.
And so what it did was it taught me a lot about myself. And then I started talking to other women who were like, damn, that's kind of like where I am. I did this for like 20 years and I don't want to do this anymore. My children are grown. They're out of the house. I want to do more. I want more. This just can't be it. Right. And so once I started talking to women like that, and then, like I said, myself, and I was like, I think this is what I need to be doing because I was, I invested in other women's, I guess they're not, it wasn't necessarily coaching, but it was just other offers. And of course, I saw that as me investing in myself through investing through them. And it did help. I mean, I got to know myself, but I kind of felt like, I don't know, I feel like there's something missing. I
Okay.
know I don't want this anymore, but that's not being addressed. It's just, okay, this is what you do. This is the life you want. And you got married and this is what you do now. But I was like, there's something missing. And I was even talking to my therapist about it. And that was a whole other thing. I basically had to put her in check because she started overstepping her boundaries.
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay, I don't need therapy anymore. I'm done. uh, that was kind of like the catalyst to let me know that, okay, that part, I think I'm done. Right. And so, again, it was just, it started just being about this, just this serious work, just sitting with myself, not in anybody's program, no more therapy, just me. And it's almost like it's like I took myself out of like being in it and placed myself in the position of the observer of my own experience. Right. And so once I did that, then I started seeing me, and then I started seeing him, and then I started seeing just, and I was like, wow, like this whole thing is wild. The way it's set up, the way that it, and women and men are duped into this is like, it's almost like sold to them like a used car. Right. And so it was just like, this isn't me. Like, I'm not her. And no shade to anyone, any woman that's married. I think it can be beautiful. I am all for wonderful companionship between a man and a woman, and I mean, and man and man, woman and woman, whatever, but we're talking about men and women. So I'm all for those types of relationships that both are thriving. You come together and you build something beautiful, and but you're not, it's not this thing where I own you so you can't go anywhere, right? Because love is freedom. It's
Yes.
not restriction. It's not, I'm trying to control you. So I own you now. So, you can only do this. You can only go so far. Um, my views and the way I view the world, you have to see that through my lens and my lens only. No, that's just like straight slavery and ownership. That part I do not support.
Right.
That's why I said I am such a proponent of prenups and a proponent of
Oh,
divorce.
yeah.
I really am.
I have so many questions. It was so funny because like I say my husband, but we're getting
Yes.
married next year.
Yes.
So I was telling him about you, and he's like, "What is she known for?" I'm like, "Well, kind of like a lot of stuff. Look, I know her from my demon time. I kind of now she goes by the mistress divorce." And so he's like, "Is she anti-marriage?" I'm like, "I don't actually really know, but we'll figure it out." But what my question is, so I'm going into my second marriage.
Yes.
I've been married before, and
Mhm.
in Europe we have something akin to, it's not marriage, but it's like like legal partnership. So it's still for
Mhm.
tax and like if
Right.
so I
Right.
don't know what the equivalent is in America or if there is one.
Mhm.
Um, but if I look back at that, it's like I went into just general relationships, but even into marriage, into
Yeah.
with such, for one, with such infantile parts within me myself,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
resulted in going into a relationship with the wrong reasons,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And so when I hear you say like, hey, the relationship didn't work because again, can relate.
Mhm.
I what I really like about what you speak about on like the TikTok and stuff is the like women in general, they're lacking this, or women in
Mhm.
general, they're acting dumb. Like again, let's say it how it is, right? Like we have this weird thing going on right
Yeah.
now in
Yes.
the West where we're all
Yeah.
like, give me life, and I'm like, oh no, this life happened to me. No, bitch,
Exactly.
you did it.
You did it.
You did it.
Exactly. You did it. Absolutely. And that was the thing. Like, okay, because I can honestly say that I've always kind of been the type of person where it's like, okay, I made this mistake. I need to figure out why I did that.
Mhm.
It's like, I have said this time and time again, I take full responsibility for my fuck ups. I don't
How
look at
unique of you.
but it's so crazy, right? And so even with the, like, when I realized certain things about myself, why I made the choice that I did, why I made the choice to get married, why I chose to do that whole traditional thing. I didn't look at it as, oh, it's because I was programmed by Disney movies, and it's patriarchy's fault. It, like, I didn't do
Like, it
any
just
of that.
happened to you.
Right. It's like, okay, we understand the system. We understand how it's set up. We get the parts of it that's not great and how it actually can harm, right? The whole conditioning and all of these things. We get all that. But it's like, how long do you blame that? How long do you just sit and say, well, it's patriarchy's fault. It's government daddy's fault. It's my mother's fault. It's my father wasn't in the home. Like, it's so easy to just go down that spiral of just blaming everybody. But it's like, no, I made the choice regardless of what I was taught, regardless of the conditioning. I grew up in a very religious family, Christian family, right? Regardless of that, I still made the choice. I was very much an adult, right? It's not like I was 16, 17 years old and I was sold into like child marriage or something like that where I didn't have a choice. I was fully aware of what I was doing. I knew that, I made that choice. Now, did I go into with all of the information and the knowledge that I have now? No, I didn't. But I still made the choice. And when I reflect back early on, because I would see like pictures of myself when we first got together, and I saw pictures of like me and my daughter. She was just born. And I was like, wow. It made me reflect back to, I remember when I was coming home from the hospital and I was in the back seat of the car. She was in the car seat. And I remember thinking, what the fuck? What is this? It was like, I felt so lost. And it's like being a fish out of water.
Mhm.
And the combination of being a new mom, going through postpartum depression, um, getting married, and because I mean, we did everything so fast.
Mhm.
And well, like I said, when we were on our way home from the hospital, I was like, what the fuck? What am I doing? What am I gonna do? I got this baby. I gotta do this whole thing. I gotta perform this whole thing now. Like, it's like shit just got real. Like when I when I had the baby, I was like, okay, I have to do this. I didn't know it was performative. I just thought, okay, I have to do this. So let me just do it.
So was the
And
just from my understanding, so
mhm,
when you I assume you were in love, right?
I think I was at the time, yeah.
It's isn't it funny how when we're younger, our perception of love is completely different than now that we're adult? No, like, I said the same. Was I in love? I'm not sure. Might be a lot of lust,
Might have been, yeah. I mean, that's another thing I used to ask myself. I'd be like,
I-
I don't know.
right? It's so real. I think it was a lot of hormones and some kind
Right?
of
Is it the oxytocin and the dopamine all mixed in there together
right?
constantly?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, right. Oh, that's
Yeah.
how you're like, I think? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I did. I was kind of like, was I? Like, it was like this whole thing. And yeah, so and then even having an understanding of love, like I always say, love is a frequency, love is freedom. And if we can always go back to that old adage, if you love something, you set it free.
Mm.
And I am not one to want to keep a person. If you don't want to stay, you are not beholden to me. If you know that this isn't for you anymore and you need to go and figure that shit out, you need to or move on to the next chapter of your life. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. I'm not going to come up with all these little manipulative ways to make you stay, right? Okay, you got to go, then go.
Are you for yourself?
Mhm.
Are you for monogamy?
For myself,
Mhm.
I would say yeah. For myself,
Mhm.
yeah. I would,
I
yeah,
specifically
I would say
asked
yeah.
that way because I don't care less what everyone else is doing. Like
Yeah.
that's why I'm so yeah,
Yeah.
but for yourself, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I do I enjoy that. Me and this other person and it's just us, and we're connecting. Like I love that stuff. Like I think it's beautiful.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm like I said, for me, yeah, definitely. So
What were some so so here you are divorcing. We're time
mhm.
traveling right now, right? So you're
Yes.
divorcing and you're
Yes.
like, I have to start all over.
Yeah.
Um, what did that look like? Moving out, getting your own finances? Like, how deep are we in? Mm,
Girl.
mm,
Let me tell you.
mm.
So I came into this with a nice little savings. I had excellent credit, right? Um, and I wanted to do the stay-at-home mom thing.
How old are you now, by the way? I'm
Ex-
31,
ex-
right?
oh, thank
Oh
you.
no, easy.
Late 40s.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this shit. Get out of here. Oh my god, fucking amazing genes. Well done. Well
Thank you.
done. Yes,
I
yes.
thank my mom and my dad for that one. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you wanted to do the stay at home. How many kids do you have?
I have two.
You have two. Okay.
I
Are
have a
they
son
adults
and a
now?
daughter. Well, my daughter is 19 and my son is 15. He just turned 15 a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, okay. So
hmm
you wanted to do the stay at home mom. Okay.
hmm
Walk us through it.
Child. Okay, so so I went into that with the I'm gonna do the stay-at-home mom, right? And but it was like I sort of there were certain things that I did. I just chose certain red flags, right? That I just chose not to deal with. I saw them, but I was like, I'm not gonna deal with it, right? And that's another thing too. It's like we see them. We always talk about how people miss them. You see them, but sometimes you just don't want to do. I'm not doing it,
Not
right?
not only do we sometimes see them often,
hmm
we get
hmm
attracted to them. We
Yes,
romanticize them. We become
absolutely.
what's the female version of Captain Save-A-Ho? It's like a Bobby the man builder or something. I don't
Oh,
fucking know.
Barbara the Builder. I think that's what it is.
I
Right.
can fix this.
Yes.
I can love him into fixing these flags.
Right. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look, that's like a whole podcast in and of itself. Yeah, so I chose to not deal with them. And one of the major things that I chose not to deal with was the finance.
Okay.
Um, you have we'll just say this person had the outward appearance of being very secure financially.
Mhm.
And I thought, okay, even though I was seeing things, but I still thought, oh, he has it together. We're good, right? And so I decided to go ahead and do that thing, right? And so I was living with my cousin at the time. He and I were roommates. I moved out, moved into his house, and and it's just sort of just went from there. There were certain things that were, I would say, imposed upon me, and because I don't want to get too personal, you know what I mean. So there were certain things that was imposed upon me that I just chose not to say anything, and that was one of the biggest things that I did, being a stay-at-home mom and wife, is I silenced myself,
Mm,
and because I didn't want to be the nag.
mhm,
I definitely didn't want to, because there's this stereotype of of black women being like all this stuff, and we're nagging, and we're this and we're that, and we're always complaining, and why can't we be so I had all that in my head, and so I was like, well, I'm just going to be this nice little timid,
mm,
right? Even though I'm unhappy.
mm,
We got about maybe a year into it, and I was completely unhappy.
mhm,
I know that I was suffering with postpartum depression, and for a long time I didn't even know that that's what it was.
mm,
So many women are not educated on postpartum depression. Even now, you would think with all the information and stuff, women are still not properly educated on that. I did a podcast on it on Substack a few weeks ago where I talked about that. And so I know that I was going through that. And then the added things that were being imposed upon me. Um, and so I still just was like, okay, right. And then it got to a point where I'd silenced myself so much that I was even afraid to ask for help. And even going to him for like extra money for things, I had placed myself in such a dependent position. I went from being independent, right, working every day, making money, doing my thing, right? Handling my shit, just doing it, right? I went from doing that to being a complete dependent. And not even realizing that that is what so many women do. It's like when I realized, I was like, wait a second, do you understand that you are completely giving up your whole survival and livelihood to this other human? What if something happens? What are you going to do? What, because, and we outlive men. So it's like, what you gonna do when he passes? Like, what, do you have a life insurance policy? Like all of this stuff, but all this stuff didn't start coming to me until later. So I spent, I would say, 16 years of not working, no income of my own. Just, I was doing that whole stay-at-home mom thing and receiving an allowance. Like it was like that in the modern times that we're in. And I was like on some like Lucy and Ricky type stuff. You know how Ricky on the I Love Lucy, Ricky used to give Lucy
I have no idea what that is.
what? Oh, you gotta add that to your American experience. You gotta watch I Love Lucy. You gotta do it. You're going to crack up. Even now, the show is hilarious. You gotta watch I Love Lucy. I'm surprised no one's put you on this yet. That is like the American experience. You gotta watch I Love Lucy. Lucy always trying to be in the show. Ricky kept trying to keep her out the show. He worked out at the Tropicana, so Lucy was always scheming, trying to be on the show. I'm telling you, Lucy and Ethel, man, you gotta watch it. But I was doing that whole thing, and I was just being like this nice, quiet, little timid wife. Didn't say much, didn't rock the boat, right? But then certain things were happening, and I just got to a point where I was so fed up, and I went completely just, I, it was like I stepped outside of my body, and I was just like going off. And then it was like I had to look at myself, and he was even like, okay, where did this come from? Right? And so once things started getting like that, then I knew, I was like, okay, there has to be there's something going on here. There's something missing. There's something I need to do. I know I have to do more. I can't just be a stay-at-home mom. And then it's like I had other people telling me, oh, you need to teach. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I was just like, okay, so you tell me I need to go back to school. Like I was just all over the place. And the biggest thing I will always say, always have your own money. Don't just go in there with, and even if you have something, don't just go in there and just be like, okay, but we love each other. I remember my mom used to always say, always have some money that he doesn't know about. Don't tell him about it. He cannot have access to it. You always got to have that cushion because you never know. If that shit goes to hell, you'll be able to take care of yourself. She used to always say that to me. And I used to be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then once I got married, I was like, oh, we're in love. Oh, here's my accounts. This is how much money I have in my savings. Here's my fantastic credit score so I can help you do this and do that. Completely fucked up my credit, right? And then so it's like, it was just this spiral. And it was like, things just started, instead of it getting better, things just got worse. Instead of our financial situation getting better, it just got worse. And it got worse and worse. Not saying that we were homeless or anything like that, but it wasn't, like I said, it got worse. And so I was like, okay, I need to start working, but I don't know where to start. I've been out of the workforce for 16 years. Like, what do I do? I don't even know what skills I have. I don't know what to do. And when I first applied to get into the financial industry, there was this woman. I'll always be forever grateful to her. She helped me with my resume because I wanted to apply for this position. I think it was some sort of, I forgot what it was, but it was working in this office for the guy, he like owned this like small insurance company or something. It was something he did. I can't even remember right now, but I applied to it. And his executive assistant, she saw my resume and she actually called me and she said, you know what? Let me help you fix this because it's not, he's not even going to look at this. And I was on the phone with her for probably like 30 minutes. And she was like, what skills have you acquired being a stay-at-home mom? I was like, I don't know. Like, she was like, okay, do you manage the bills when things are coming in? I was like, yeah. She said, do you make sure the bills are paid on time? Yeah. Do you handle things for your children as far as like appointments and making sure they're doing things? And yeah. She was like, are you in charge of, you know, as far as like meal planning and all of these, and all, she was naming all of the shit that I do. And I was like, I do all of that. And so she was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put on your resume that you are a domestic engineer. And I was like, oh, what? She helped me hook that resume up, and I started sending it out. And I'm telling you, I kept getting so many hits after that. It was insane how many people were emailing me. And all because of how she fixed that resume for me. So I will forever be grateful to her. And once things started moving in that direction, then I was like, okay, I like this part of the finance industry. I really want to get into it. So, let me take next steps. So I took my test and I did the whole thing. And so now that's where I am. I'm still building up my money, stacking, as we like to say, right? Just stacking. And but also the most important part, like I said, this is the business that I'm doing as far as like the coaching and all of the different offers that I have for women. That's my main that's my passion, right? And then the finance aspect of it, that's just how I pay the bills. So yeah, that's how it went down, I guess. So, like I said, I'm still in the process of building.
So,
So,
I want to stay away from asking the question like, what could you have if you could travel back to your younger self? What would you
yeah,
tell her? Because I often
yeah,
do ask that question, but I think in
yeah.
this case, I want to go a little bit deeper. I'm like,
Okay.
um, what would you have been needed to what would you have been needed to learn from
Hmm.
someone you respect or elder that
Hmm.
would have not gotten you into that situation?
Hmm. Oh, you saying like what? Okay. Hmm. I guess the thing that I would have wanted to learn was, gosh, I mean, it's like a few things, right?
Mhm.
Um. Well, one thing I would have wanted to learn was if they would say, "Don't stop working,"
Mhm.
right? After you had a baby, go to work, right? Always have an income, always, always, always. Um, the I guess the other part would be like how, as a woman, how you will change within that marriage, especially after you have children, and
Mhm.
to be able to be very cognizant of your energy and how you're changing and how you're communicating, how you're expressing yourself, because all of these things change. Like, you're not the same person if you got married like 25, you're not going to be that same person at 35.
We I feel like we're so much missing like
Hmm.
for everyone, by the way, this is genderless, but like a
Hmm.
rite of passage,
Yeah.
right? Like in prior times, the men would be like kicked off to the woods, like, hey, go fucking hunt. If you survive, you're a man, right?
Exactly.
And the women had a different, aside from like obviously, getting your period and whatever, but like
Right.
there was an initiation and like a reflection of like what is the reality of maiden mother crone.
Yes.
And we don't
Yes.
have that.
We don't have that. That's what's missing.
Mhm.
That's the thing. And it's so funny you said that, because I talk about this all the time. It's like women go from it's because it's like it goes back to the infantilization that Jana's always talking about. Coach Jay, she talks about that. We talk about this a lot, and we're talking about the infantilization, and then also being in daughtership. And women, it's like you're in that maiden phase, right? And then next thing you know, you're getting married and you're having babies, but you're still a maiden. And then I always say having a baby is a symbolic death. When you have your first child, that's a symbolic death of the maiden. But you have so many women who are doing this without the knowledge, without the information of what's going to take place with inside of them and what's going on with their, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, all of these things. You're not given any of that. Like you said, you're just like, okay, here, you're a certain age, go get married and have babies. And so you haven't had any life experiences. You haven't done the work on yourself. And you're just doing this very grown up thing, but you're still a maiden. It's like you haven't developed the skill sets to be able to really go in and because getting married and having children, that's a business. We're not told that. You have to run your household like a business. This goes right back to how the woman helped me with the resume. She took all of the skills that I acquired being at home, and she created this business, right? She showed me that, no, you run your house like a business. You're not even seeing that you're running
You're
this
doing
like a
all these
business.
things.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's the thing. It's like we're just like, okay, go do this very grown up thing, even though you haven't had any experiences. You really don't know what you're doing, but you just need to go ahead and do that because we need all the children because we need all the worker bees. But anyway, that's another day. Right? So yeah, I mean, we're not educated on these things. We're only given what our mothers knew, and she's given what her grandmother knew. And most of that is coming out of the church. And so there you are. You're just doing this very grown up thing, and you're still a child to a degree in the mind. And so now it's like you're forced to grow up. They say that, like you said, the rites of passage for women, it's like we get our menstrual cycles. Even having a baby is considered rites of passage. But it's like, again, we're doing very adult things, but we're still maidens in the mind. And, and so then you wonder, you get to a certain point in your marriage after 15, 20 years, women don't know that they're going to change. You're going to change. And let's not even talk about when you start getting into premenopause and a whole lot of things that's going on with that. I mean, the oxytocin levels drop, the estrogen levels drop. Those are the two things that actually keep you attached. So when those things drop, then it's like you're heading into the crone now, and the crone gives no fucks, right? And so they have this thing called gray divorce. A lot of women are filing for divorce when they hit that premenopause. I don't do this shit no more. I'm out. I don't want to do this. I don't care. I don't want to do it. Go do you. The kids are gone. They're out of the house. I'm done. Right? It's time for the next chapter of my life. So it's like I said, it's the rites of passage, and not understanding what it is you're getting into as a woman. Right? And so
So I'm gonna just share some brain farts, and I would like to hear your feedback for one.
Okay.
I think we are in such a weird place in modern West right now.
Absolutely.
Because worker bees for one, so there's several pushes going on that are like pushing against each other because on one hand I'm like, yes, having your own money, absolutely, yes. And feminism has glorified everyone having their own job. And I also don't think that giving the responsibility of your children, of the growth of your children, to an institution that does not care for them, right? So we have all this okay, so stay-at-home mom, because I've turned around on this. I used to be like, everyone work, we're working. I'm like, no, probably stay with your kids because whatever they're teaching their kids at school ain't it either.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, but that also means like a lot of sacrifice. So
absolutely,
it's almost like I don't even theoretically know what a solution is.
Right.
Because it keeps coming back that we're not supposed to do this completely on our own. Right. We used to have a village. And it's even coming from East Europe, and there was literally a tiny village. Like our village had 100 people, right? So, and I know you even though I'm a little bit younger than you, but we're behind in East Europe. So I always connect to your generation better because we had the same kind of wave. Like
Right.
the outside playing until one of the neighbors yelled, "Get your ass inside, it's dinner
Yes.
time." But like the
Yes.
kids were all playing, no
Yeah.
age, like they were all doing. We don't have
Right.
that anymore, right?
Yeah.
So even within the kids groups, you had your own village, then you had the actual village, and
Right.
now everyone's just doing on their own.
Yeah.
Plus the internet,
Yeah.
plus the institutions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, what is the solution?
What is the solution?
I don't know.
Absolutely. It's so funny you said that because I find myself wrestling with that. Like
Mhm, mhm.
every once in a while, I'll just be like, what do we do? Like, what do you do? And
Yeah.
it's so crazy because, like you said, with the institutions, even though I was sending my daughter to traditional school, I had actually I created a curriculum, a homeschool curriculum, because I knew that I was going to pull her out, and I took that on, and I
Mhm,
created this really good curriculum for her.
mhm, mhm.
And because I knew that, okay, she's only going to get so much over there, right? And I just didn't trust them completely. I was always like scanning like it was always like, did they say something to her? Why did they say that? Why did she do that? So because she would come home and say, Mom, my teacher pulled my card. I said, why'd she pull your card? So you like ready to go up to the school and right. And so
You need to
so
do everything okay?
no, we're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just kind of like, like I said, creating that curriculum and, wanting to, you want to homeschool. And so that's what I did. And, but like you said, the one thing that was always missing was the support, right? The support is what was missing. Like, I remember when I first told my family, it's like, well, I'm going to homeschool. And they were like, why are you doing that? And it was just like this whole thing. And once they started seeing how my daughter was benefiting from it, then it was kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's all fine and good that you approve now, but where's the support? I did not receive
This,
it
and
was all on me.
right, it's all on you.
Yeah.
And at least, like in the end, you only have 24 hours and so much life
Yeah.
force for the day.
Yeah.
There's one of my Russian friends actually. She lives in
Hmm.
Czech Republic now. She's like, for me, she's like the perfect example of they live in and this was not planned, by the way. Like they
Yeah.
live in a tiny town that has like 37 people,
Yeah.
and the way the houses got built, she's a realtor. The way the houses
Hmm.
got built is like fancy houses, almost like in half a circle, like in a horseshoe. And
Yeah.
then in the center of the horseshoe is like the kids' playground, like a big
Hmm.
playground. And at the
Hmm.
bottom is like the school. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's fucking epic. And so
Yeah.
basically, how they have set it up. So the teacher lives in that fucking horseshoe,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
everyone knows each other. So there's
Hmm.
no like in East Europe, you don't have like the bad propaganda too much yet.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, so, but what they did, she's like, well, the kids are just 2 days a week with me. I'm like, what do you mean? Like your
Mm.
husband is in the Marine, like he's out
Yeah.
always. She's like, well, I get all the kids on Monday and Thursday, and
Yeah.
all the other parents take all the kids because that's 14 kids only
Wow.
on the other days. And like we all live our life. And I'm like, y'all fucking figured that shit out.
Yes.
Y'all figured
I
it out.
love that.
And they're playing
I
outside in
love
that
that.
centered field, right?
Yeah.
With the playground. Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
weather, because kids so should be kids.
Right.
I'm
Right.
like,
Absolutely.
see, that's what it takes, a fucking village.
It is. And I love that.
Yeah.
And, you hear about this thing, I guess it's this thing, it's called a commune, but
Mhm.
momune. And so I guess it's like, yeah. So a lot of women are, they're working on that. They're coming together. A lot of them are like the single moms, and they're coming together and they're creating this community for
That's
themselves.
so smart. That's
I love
so
it.
smart.
I love that. I
Mhm.
absolutely love that. And it's like, I'm so big on connecting with women of like minds and building that communal structure and networking of. I'm so big on that. And it's like, it's so crazy because it's like, it's this, I mean, it's so major for me. I'm really, really, I'm like I said, I'm very big on that. It means a lot to me having women as a support, a communal supportive structure of, that of women, and we're coming together and we're just making shit happen. I love that. That is like what I want. That's what I want to see, right? That's what I want to be a part of. And it's so needed. And so it's like we, because we look at how women are with friendships, and it's so, I was like, wow, like women really don't know how to maintain and cultivate long-term beautiful relationships. I'm seeing how they're having such a hard time with that. And
I want
you
you to
know
say more about that, just because
yeah.
just as an immigrant,
Hmm.
I have never had challenges with women until I
Hmm.
came to America.
That makes sense. it's
And
it's it's oh, go ahead, go
no,
ahead.
so I've heard the sentiment before, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Before I
Yeah.
moved here, right? I'm like, what
Yeah.
are you talking about? Like, I'm
Yeah.
easy, whatever, lemon squeezy. And
Yeah.
now I'm here, and I'm like, and don't get me, I have my ride or dies,
Yeah.
but it's way more challenging in America. So
Yeah.
tell me what your ideas are about that.
I think it's so many different things. I think number one, first, it goes right back to that infantilization, and then right back to being in daughtership. It's like what I'm realizing is that most women really aren't, they're adulting, but they're not adults. And maintaining these long-term friendships is very challenging for so many women. And I remember I had a good friend, and we've been knowing each other since college. And I mean, we had gotten so close to the point where we were picking each other's children up from school. We had each other on emergency lists. She and I were pregnant at the same time, with our sons. Her son is like 2 months older than mine to the day. And she was the reason why that she suggested that I get a doula. And and so we had developed such a bond. And I remember all of a sudden she just ghosted me, basically. And it was so strange to me because I had never experienced that before. I was like, wait, what happened? And I want to know, like, did I do something? Did I offend you? So I'm like calling her, and she's not returning my calls. And so I was just like, okay, what
And
is
that
this?
hurts, by the way.
That her,
That
a
hurts.
woman
Like, we
rejecting
can be
me?
all badass motherfuckers because we are, but
Yep.
when your best friend
Yes.
fucking ghosts you, I've been there too.
Yes.
Oh, that's a different stab
Yes.
wound.
It's a
Gosh.
whole, yes. I said that hits way different. And it was so mind-boggling to me because I had never experienced that. And so, because I was used to short-term friendships with women, oh yeah, girl, let's get together. And then you don't hear from them and all this kind of stuff. But this one was different. And when she just stopped, and then when I finally heard from her, she was just like, well, I mean, it's all right. Like, why are you being so,
Oof.
it was, yeah. And so I was just like, okay. Right. And so I didn't know what to do with that. And at that time, I didn't know that you will grieve a friendship. I didn't even know that that was a thing.
Word.
And I went through that, and I was like, I was angry, and then I was sad, and I was like, what the fuck? And just like, it was just like this whole thing. And then I was like, okay, you're grieving this. You're grieving the loss of this friendship that you thought was a friendship. But apparently you must have saw it differently from her. I don't know what happened, but
Do
obviously
you
she
still
didn't
not
view
know,
the
by the
same
way?
way. Huh?
Did you ever get clarity, or
Never.
that's a fucking rough
Never.
one, man.
And then the crazy thing is, I met her through a mutual friend of my ex's. And so her husband and him are friends. And that's how we met. And so they're still in touch. And so, yeah. And so it is so weird. And it's so funny though. Honestly, I ran into them recently, which was the craziest thing. And I was like, if I had ran into her probably 4 years ago, I would have been like, oh my God, it was so good to see you. Let's get together, blah, blah, blah. I would have done that because that's just me. But this time when I saw her, my guard immediately went up. And it was so robotic and just pleasantries. Oh, hey, how you doing? How's the children? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, okay, good seeing you. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you would never even know that she and I had the type of friendship that we had. Looking
Now
at
you're just somebody that I used to know. Somebody. It.
So I think that it's like, when it's, well, one of the things is that sexual competition between women. I think that's the reason why, one of the reasons why they can't maintain these friendships. And even if you're both married, and it's still this, I don't know what, it's this competition, it's this, I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know, for some reason it's like women just don't value other women. They don't value each other. They don't value those friendships. And like you said, it's like, to be ghosted by a really close friend, that's a different type of, like I
Oh,
said, that
it's a
hits different.
betrayal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also think, again, I always say women got to do that work on themselves. That integrating that shadow is the biggest thing that a woman can do, because that's where everything is. That's where all the ugly shit is. That is where you find your reason why you can't maintain and cultivate long-term relationships. That's where it is. All of that shit is in there. And
And it's not fun and pretty and easy to
no, it's
go
not.
down there.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Diving the abyss. It is not fun or pretty or any of that. It gets really, like I said, that's where the ugly stuff is.
So,
And
will
mhm,
you? So, because people who went through it or are even
mhm,
going through it, like
yeah.
we like to be like, it's not pretty, but like, can you give an example of what it actually looks like, or could look like for you?
Oh my gosh. I've had a couple of moments
Yeah.
where um gosh, and it's so crazy, so funny you said that, because I have like these voice notes on my phone. And I remember one time I woke up and
I'm
it was
going
like,
through it.
and you know what it was? It was like that voice telling me, because I always say, like, there's like that other voice, and it's telling you, like, what you're doing. Okay, that's not going to work. Or, yeah, you don't need to do that because of this and that and the other,
The
and that's not going to
inhibition.
work. And yeah. And so it's like, I have voice clips of myself saying, shut the fuck up.
Hmm.
And like, there were times where I would just be, I could be like in meditation, or, I mean, it could just be anything, like a trigger. And it would just be that feeling, like, that feeling when you're triggered by something, right? And you're like, what do I do with this? I need to grab it and control it and hold it, because I don't want to feel this way. I don't want this to do this to me. What do I do with this? And so it took me a while to have to be like, okay, this triggered me. I don't know why. Let me just sit with it. Let me figure it out. Let me stop running from
Here
it.
we go again.
Here we go again. I'm gonna tell you. I remember there was this content creator I used to follow, and I remember she said something one day, and it triggered the fuck out of me, to the point where I had to unfollow her for like a week. I didn't want to see her posts. I didn't want to see her content. I didn't want to see
Do you
nothing.
remember what it was?
Oh God, what did she say?
The reason, like, why I'm asking for this is
Mhm.
because when we talk about like the heavier stuff, we tend to
Yeah,
see it as these like big individual events or something, right? And
right.
like, and for me, my trigger can be, oh my god, today. Let me tell you
Yeah,
my trigger. So I come home
yeah,
and I trip over one of the fucking trees that's
yeah.
been taken down, but it's growing again. And now I'm like, see, no one takes it, no one cares about my well-being, because here I am fucking tripping over that tree
Right,
as if I'm
right.
on my own. Like, I'm again, there's
Yeah,
some like old, like, I'm on my own, it's me against the world.
yeah,
Nothing's happening. I
yeah.
just tripped.
You just tripped.
Literally
Right.
tripped. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
And you're
here
right.
like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. No, you're right. And it's like, it is that thing where we think it's like this big thing, right? And it's like something major like that. So, I mean, something minor. So it's like, I wish I could remember what was said exactly. I'm so
That's
mad at
nice.
myself. I can't remember. But I just remember the response. I remember how I felt. And I was like, I can't look at her content. I'm unfollowing her for a week. But the thing of it is, I sat with it.
Mm.
And I had to ask myself the questions, okay, why are you triggered by this? Why are you having such an emotional response? Like, what's going on there? Right? And once I was able to, and I mean, I wrote it out, right? Did the voice
Writing
clips,
out
did the whole thing.
writing works for
Yeah,
me very well
absolutely.
too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because then the
Absolutely.
thoughts don't spiral in your head at like
Yeah,
10,000 miles an hour, but you
right.
actually like have to narrow them
You
down.
have to. You
What's
have
the
to.
voice actually saying?
Yeah,
And it kind of tends to
absolutely.
like when you write it down, you're like, this is kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Which
Right.
is good.
Or like, yeah, or I look and be like, this is kind of cringe. But okay. but but yeah, it's like I had to
Kind of
just sit with
schizo.
it. Huh? Right. Right. And I was just like, okay, let me sit with this. Let me ask myself these questions. But I'm not gonna sit on it too long. Because women, we love to process things. I have to process it. I have to process it. And you're
And
processing for 3 months, right?
there's this weird thing that women do. And again, I think everything is over therapized and over like
Yes.
over
Yes.
infantilized for sure. Where
Yeah.
it's like women are right now taking pride in being able to endlessly break
Yes.
down their triggers and show their triggers and talk about the triggers. I'm like, but baby, you
Yes.
still got the trigger.
Yeah. Yes.
So we talked about your trigger for 10 years. Now what?
Now what? Exactly. And that was the thing, because it was like, okay. And I remember now the one therapist that I had, because I had two of them, but the first one I had, she was so dope. Oh my gosh, she helped me out so much. And I remember she said to me, because I remember I texted her and I was like, oh my god, this just came to me, and this is why I do this. And, da-da-da. And so I was like, I have to sit on this, I have to process this. And she texted back. She said, don't you dare take 3 months, or even no, she said, don't you dare take 2 weeks to process this. You
There we
don't
go.
need to do that. And I
There
was
we
like,
go.
oh my God, I love her.
See, that's a rite of passage, though.
Yes.
Where an
Yes.
elderly tells
Yes.
you, no, 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 yes,
Yeah.
on the right path, and
Yes.
this is
Yes.
the container.
Yes. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And I love that. And I was so glad she said that, because I know how I am, because I will do that. I
Just
will.
by virtue of your nature, you're a woman.
Right. Exactly. That's the thing. And it's like, overriding that, right? So when she said to me, don't you take 2 weeks to process this? And I was like, damn, okay. And so that actually helped me,
Damn, okay.
right? That helped me out so much, because ever since she said that, I don't do that anymore. I still process, right?
Mhm, mhm.
But we talking, I might kind of process something for, maybe an hour, something like that. Just kind of give it that time and just kind of do what it needs to do. And then I'm like, all right, and next steps,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I do it now. And that helps so much. It's like, if you are just processing, you're not getting anything done. Nothing is
Microscope
getting
on
done.
everything, on
Yes,
every
yes,
experience, every
yes.
thought. Let's look for a little bit more here and let's
Right.
look a little bit more here.
Right. Oh, look at that over there. Oh, but what about that part? That connects to that over there. Oh my God, that connects to something I did when I was 10. Oh, that's what we do. So when she told me that, I was like, oh my God. Okay.
Revelation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now it's like, okay, I'm not,
Well, so now you
next
do that
steps.
to your clients
Yes.
in
With
their
the same.
guiding ship, right? Like it's the
Mhm.
you are now the guide for other women
Yes. Yes.
when
Yes.
they're navigating their.
Right, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And it's like, I have a good friend now. She's now, the thing is, I consider her my first client outside of myself, but this was before I actually started the actual container. And I remember she was like, wow, you helped me. Well, I had two. My one of my friends, I've been on her since forever. And she was like, the 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 amount of time it took me to help her, like, figure that shit out. It was like, she was like, we talking 20 something years of something. and you helped me figure it out just over a phone conversation
Mm-hmm.
because I pulled it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just
Taking
got to the root
points. Tuck,
cause.
tuck, tuck, tuck.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was like, I don't need to know the backstory. The backstory is the backstory. What we doing
We
right now?
love the
Yes. I
backstory
was like, what we
because
doing right
the
now? We love a good
backstories
backstory though.
pull the other
Yes.
person in. There, it's like marketing for the misery. Come over to my misery side.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so it was like, because the now the good thing is with her, I had been knowing her for so long, right? So it was so easy for me to just pull it out. And what she said after, she said, okay, we talking 20 something years of some issues that I've been having, and you helped me figure that shit out in one phone call. And she said, and I know that the root cause of it is the relationship I had with my mother, which is always going back to mama, right? But she was able to pinpoint specific things. She was like, now I know why I had asthma all my life. She didn't know this. She was like, that's a trauma. That's trauma. I was like, yeah. So it's like, I don't, and then like I said, the other friend, that she and I are really close, and she's she doing her thing as well. But it's like before she got to that point, she and I would have these conversations, and she was like, she told me, she said, you helped me to see like my blind spots, things that I didn't know was there. And so it's like for me, I have this way of being able to just kind of pull these things out. And also like I'm very cognizant of what you're not saying. And I don't know why I'm able to do that. I still don't know why I'm able to do that, but she and I, we'll be talking about some things, and I'll say, oh, well, you need to go ahead and finish doing that thing that you said you were going to do. I can't remember. It was like teaching something. She was like, how? I didn't ever even talk to you about that. Like, what are you talking about? I said, well, I know you want to teach this particular thing. And she was like, yeah, I was thinking about that like 3 months ago. I said, well, you need to do it.
Yeah.
And she was like, how would you
like
even?
There's like a cycle, like a psychic layer to it, right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And so, this is what I do. And it's like, I can, like I said, I can kind of just kind of pull those things out. And that's why I said that connection to that dark feminine nature. I connect with women's dark feminine nature so easily. And it's like, it's almost like you can't really hide. I see you. No, but it's great because I'm able to connect with you on that level, because that's where it starts. It starts in the dark. Everything starts in the dark, right? The roots are in the dark.
Creation, roots,
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm able to see that. And it's so funny because when I ran into that old friend of mine, right? It was like loud. That darker aspect, that shadow, all the stuff that she's holding on to for whatever reason. Because I remember my daughter was so concerned. She was like, well, why aren't you guys friends anymore? And I said, well, there are some things that she's going through. I have no idea what it is. No idea. But I can tell that she's holding on to some things. I know that there's some things festering and she's not dealing with it. And so when I saw her recently, it was just, it was crazy how I could just not necessarily see it with my eyes, but I could see it. And it was that shadow, as or I like to call it, the dark passenger. I don't know if you are a fan of Dexter, that show Dexter. They call it the dark passenger. I've never seen it. Okay, Bart, you got, look, hey, look. Do I have to give you a list?
Look, I think it's my American friend's responsibility to provide me a cohesive list of things that I need to do as an American.
Yes. I'm gonna send you I'm for real gonna send you a list.
No, I'm dead ass. Because like I remember when and this is related but not related, when I came to America and I was like 3 months in, and someone introduced me to ranch dressing, and I'm like,
I remember you talking about the
ranch dressing from me for 3 months. This is heaven. And they're like, well, I thought you knew. How can you think that?
So just it's pumpkin. You like pumpkin flavored things, I remember.
But not the coffee. So I like the pumpkin, like, the cake or something. And I'm like, what is this sorcery?
Right, exactly. And it was so funny because I think this was like a couple of years ago, because I think you and I have been rocking for some years on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I was in Trader Joe's and I saw pumpkin bagels and I thought of you.
And I'm
And I
like,
took a picture of it and I posted it. I think I tagged you on it.
yeah. I'm like, oh my God, this is because only in America. We
Right.
don't have that shit. Oh my God.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So
So
tell
mhm.
us where obviously I will post all the links everywhere. We'll just have to do this more often. Tell us
Yes.
about your offers and where we can find you.
Whew, okay. So so basically, I'm on Substack. You can find me there under the cipher. I have pretty much all of my links there. So wherever you want to find me on my website. I'm on school, right? I love school.
Good.
Don't even get
Good.
me started on Alex and Layla. Don't even get me started. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm on school under. I have a container. It's called the War Room, and basically I'm teaching one about strategic communication, power dynamics, and I get into a lot of Machiavellianism, a lot of 33 strategies of war, 48 laws of power. Like that's what I'm doing over there, right? So you can find me in the War Room, but like I said, all of my links are under the cipher. So if you go to Substack, go to the cipher, you'll find me and everything is there. And of course my links are here on Facebook, so you can find me on Facebook and you can find me on Substack. Of course Facebook, I'm under Huntress Obscura Feminina. So that's
Love it.
that's where I am. You can find me over there.
Thank you so much for coming
Yes.
over. Oh my God, this is
Yes.
so good.
Oh, we gotta do this again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely. And it was
Yeah.
so again, so I live in the middle of nowhere, right? 2 hours
Yes.
from anywhere. So my laptop broke down, so I brought it in.
Yeah.
Then I picked it up a day before, and the
Yeah.
same thing is going on. Like
Yeah.
no, and I'm like, y'all gotta be kidding me. I gotta cancel her again. And then
Yeah.
like half an hour today before
Yeah.
we got on, one of the pigs escaped. And I'm like, I'm texting my
No.
husband. I'm like, you know what? You need to figure out life. I'm not canceling this again. Like, I don't know if the pig is caught or if it's like, I have no idea. But yeah, we'll definitely
Yeah.
do this again.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
yes, so good. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
being over. I'll put all the links everywhere. And everyone, this
Thank
is Rich and
you.
Hydrated. Let's hydrate together.
Yes. Absolutely. Do it. Stay hydrated.